Welcome back, everyone, to Actual English. My name is Jennifer Clyde. Today, it's time for lesson 103, and let's talk about cyber dating. So, have you ever met anyone online? Some people actually go online to search for people. Boyfriends, girlfriends, anyone, even friends, I guess. So some people feel comfortable about meeting people online, but people like me do not feel as comfortable. Even when it comes to social networking services, as we call them SNS sites, I don't really feel comfortable meeting people online or becoming friends with strangers. But of course, that is one way to get to know people. Let's talk about the pros and cons of meeting people online. So once again, today's topic is cyber dating.
Have you ever met someone online, Rachel? And I mean, taken part in cyber dating?
I actually have never done cyber dating, but I've heard a lot of success stories, even amongst my friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So more and more people are doing it, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I think it's definitely on the rise. It's just an easy way to meet people these days.
Sure, it is super convenient, especially for people who are busy with work and social activities. Where do you find the time to meet your Mr. or Mrs. Right?
Exactly. And I think the more traditional ways of maybe going to a bar or club, the people that you want to meet there, I don't know. I think it's difficult to meet someone for a long-term relationship, but I think those who are seeking like cyber dating are looking more for like someone they can have a long-term relationship with.
Sure, and I think it's much easier to vet people on cyber dating sites. You put in what you're looking for in terms of age, occupation, even looks and things like that.
Right.
And then the list just comes out. You can't do that in a bar or a club.
Exactly. It's kind of up there, right there. Your resume for your personality is just there for anyone to see.
Yeah.
And they have really great websites to match people, and I think I heard that they do a really good job in trying to find someone who's really compatible to you.
Sure. I've heard that the ones that you need to pay for membership, they put in a lot more effort like that,
Yes.
Whereas some free-to-use sites, it's all up to you. You just search the database.
Okay.
But the ones where you pay for, they match you up with someone who they think you would be compatible with to have a long-term relationship.
I see. Nothing in life is free. But yeah, and there are a lot of pros to online dating, but there are also some cons.
Sure.
You have to be careful.
Yeah, because you don't know what that person's going to be like in real life, until you meet them.
Exactly.
So I think it's always best to arrange like a first date in a really public place.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'll have to pass that advice along to some of my friends.
Okay, yeah, make sure you do.
Welcome back, everyone. Did you enjoy the actual talk conversation between Peter and Rachel? I hope you did. So today, these two were talking about cyber dating, thus meeting somebody online. There are many people searching for that special person, Mr. Right or Miss Right, hoping to have a long-term relationship. And of course, some people choose to cyber date. Now, Peter asked Rachel whether she has ever cyber dated anyone, and what was her answer? She said that she has never done cyber dating before. What about Peter? What did he say? Well, he did not specifically say whether he did or not cyber date before, but he did mention a very important thing. He did mention that if you happen to date someone or meet someone online, and if you go on that first date, always arrange the first date in a public place, an open place or space with a lot of people around you, just to be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? Okay, let's take the dialogue line by line then. Here we go with Peter. He says, have you ever met someone online, Rachel? Okay, did you ever meet anybody online on the internet? And then he says, have you taken part? Take part in something means to participate. Have you ever taken part in cyber dating? Now that is our topic for today. So Rachel says, actually have never done cyber dating. So we can do many things. We can do the dishes. We can do homework. You can also do cyber dating. So always remember that often do will be used with cyber dating. I have done cyber dating. In the negative way, you would say, I have never done cyber dating. I have never done cyber dating, but I've heard a lot of success stories, meaning positive stories, amongst my friends. So, he says, so more and more people are doing it, I guess. More and more meaning a rising number of people, not just one, not just two, but more and more people are doing cyber dating, or more and more people are cyber dating, I guess, he says. She says, sure, oh yeah. I think it's definitely on the rise. We took a look at this one a long time ago. On the rise means that it's increasing. The number is growing, so more and more people are cyber dating. It's an easy way to meet people these days, an easy way to do something. That's one of our patterns. We'll go over that and practice some extra sample sentences with that. It's an easy way to meet people these days. Of course, Peter says it's super convenient, especially for people who are busy with work. That's right, or busy with schoolwork and social activities. Now, he says, where do you find the time to meet your Mr. or Mrs. Right? Now, he's asking the question about where, okay? Thus, how do you meet that perfect person? Now, Rachel says there are more traditional ways. Traditional here means old ways, okay? Maybe old-fashioned ways of going to a bar or a club. But it's difficult to meet someone for a long-term relationship. So here, let's take a look. What does long-term mean? We've got the word long, long-term. If you say that something is long-term, you mean that it lasts for a very long time. It continues on for a long time. So, a long-term relationship would be a very serious relationship, okay? So if two people meet and they start dating, and maybe they see each other for about a month, that is not a long-term relationship. If you start dating somebody and see each other for about a year, 2 years, 5 years, or even longer, that would be a long-term relationship. So she says it's difficult to meet someone, right, for a long-term relationship. But I think those who are seeking, looking for cyber dating or looking to cyber dating are looking more for someone they can have a long-term relationship with. Okay, so she's making a comparison here. A long-term relationship, now we know what it means, but what Rachel is saying, there are traditional ways, older ways of meeting people, such as going to a club or even a bar, but it's really hard to have a long-term serious relationship with somebody you meet at a bar or a club. So these days, more and more people are going online to search for that perfect person to have a long-term relationship with. Moving on, Peter says, sure, and I think it's much easier, okay, to vet people on cyber dating sites. Let's take a look at the sentence though. Now, VET, we've taken a look at this word a while back. You might remember vet, an animal doctor, a veterinarian, right? Or even an animal hospital. We call that a vet. But here, it is used in the verb form. It means to maybe check or even analyze, review, study. So he's saying it is easier to check people, study people, do some research about people on these cyber dating sites. It's true because they have a lot of information about people, so you can check them out, right? She says, you put in what you are looking for in terms of age, occupation, what they do for a living, and even looks. Okay. Put in here means to enter. So you enter what you're looking for. You enter maybe age gap, age, maybe 30 to 40, and then you type in or put in occupation, the type of person you are looking for, and even looks. So here, L-O-O-K with an S, okay? Always remember, it is used in the plural form to refer to someone's outer appearance. So we're talking about people's looks, their appearance, what they look like. And then the list just comes out. You get a list of people. And then he says, you can't do that in a bar or a club, which is true. Now, she says exactly, your resume for your personality is there for anyone to see. We often use resume, especially if you are applying for a job. A resume would include a brief summary of your work experience, your education, things like that. But you can also use it in this way as well. It's like a brief summary of the details, okay? They have really great websites that match people, that connect people, match people. And I heard that they do a really good job in trying to find someone who's really compatible with you. We take a look at the word compatible. If two things or two people are compatible, it means that they go well together, okay? If two people fight all the time, then they are not compatible. So she's talking about that. There are some websites that do a really good job in getting people together, finding the perfect match for each other. I've heard that the ones that you need to pay for membership, okay? Sometimes you do have to pay, put in a lot more effort. They try harder. Whereas some free-to-use sites, some free sites, it's all up to you, okay? It's all up to you, meaning it is your responsibility. You have to do all the work. They will not do it for you. So you just search the database. You have to search the database. You have to do it all on your own. She says, I see. Nothing in life is free. Nope, nothing in life is free. There are a lot of pros to online dating, but there are also some cons. We talked about pros and cons a long time ago. Now, always remember, pros to something or cons to something is used much more commonly. So I did make a correction there, okay? So there are pros to online dating, but there are also cons to online dating. Pros are what? Advantages, benefits, the good things. And the opposite would be cons, okay? Cons, the negatives. He says, yeah, because you don't know what that person's going to be like in real life, in reality, until you meet them. So I think it's always best to arrange, meaning put together, plan a first date in a public place. I mentioned this earlier on. Public, meaning shared, okay? Common place, a shared area, a public place. So it's always best to arrange or plan or put together. Make an appointment, okay? Promise or schedule to meet in an open place, in a public place. That's a great idea, she says. I'll have to pass that advice along to some of my friends. That is also one of our patterns. Pass along to someone means to basically give the information to tell her friends about this. So she says, I'll have to tell my friends. I'll have to give that advice to my friends. I'll have to pass along that advice to my friends. Okay, thanks to you too, everyone. Let's listen to the conversation one more time.
Have you ever met someone online, Rachel? And I mean, taken part in cyber dating?
I actually have never done cyber dating, but I've heard a lot of success stories, even amongst my friends.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So more and more people are doing it, I guess.
Oh, yeah. I think it's definitely on the rise. It's just an easy way to meet people these days.
Sure, it is super convenient, especially for people who are busy with work and social activities. Where do you find the time to meet your Mr. or Mrs. Right?
Exactly. And I think the more traditional ways of maybe going to a bar or club, the people that you want to meet there, I don't know. I think it's difficult to meet someone for a long-term relationship, but I think those who are seeking like cyber dating are looking more for like someone they can have a long-term relationship with.
Sure, and I think it's much easier to vet people on cyber dating sites. You put in what you're looking for in terms of age, occupation, even looks and things like that.
Right.
And then the list just comes out. You can't do that in a bar or a club.
Exactly. It's kind of up there, right there. Your resume for your personality is just there for anyone to see.
Yeah.
And they have really great websites to match people. And I think I heard that they do a really good job in trying to find someone who's really compatible to you.
Sure. I've heard that the ones that you need to pay for membership, they put in a lot more effort like that,
Yes.
Whereas some free-to-use sites, it's all up to you. You just search the database.
Okay.
But the ones where you pay for, they match you up with someone who they think you would be compatible with to have a long-term relationship.
I see. Nothing in life is free. But yeah, and there are a lot of pros to online dating, but there are also some cons.
Sure.
You have to be careful.
Yeah, because you don't know what that person's going to be like in real life,
Right.
until you meet them.
Exactly.
So I think it's always best to arrange like a first date in a really public place.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'll have to pass that advice along to some of my friends.
Okay, yeah, make sure you do.
Job well done. Now, are you ready for today's actual expressions? Okay, then let's go over some vocab words that we found in today's actual talk, as well as some patterns that you can make use of the next time you talk about cyber dating. Okay, we talked about long-term relationships today. Long-term meaning, everlasting, lasting over a long time, continuing for a long time. So synonyms would be continuing, everlasting, or even lifelong, which means very, very long. What about vet? In this case, today's actual talk, vet was used in the verb form, right? Okay, which means to check or to review, study, try, or even appraise. So think of it as maybe evaluating something, looking over something, or checking something in advance to have plenty of information on it or on that person. What about looks? As you see, it's L-O-O-K-S with an S. It's used in the plural form often to mean appearance, as I mentioned. So appearance, view, feeling, or even ambience. So this is basically what things may look to your eye or even to your mind. That's why ambience can also be a synonym for vet in this case. What about resume? As you see, it's resume. Stress goes right here. Resume. Resume. It's not resume, it's resume. Resume. It's a summary or an outline, a very brief summary. Often, applicants need to write a resume or, of course, hand in a resume with their personal information, education, and even professional information. What about arrange? Arrange means to prepare, plan, or even put together. We were talking about arranging a first date in a public place, right? So keep these verbs in mind, words in mind. And let's go over to our first pattern. Now, meet someone online. We're talking about cyber dating today, so let's talk about meeting a person on the internet. That's online. We met online several years ago. Okay, you can say this. Have you met someone online? If yes, when did you meet him or her? You can say, we met online, and then mention when you did so. We met online several years ago. And what about this one? I don't think it's safe to meet people online. You may disagree. You may say, no, I think it's plenty. I think it's safe enough to meet someone online. And if you disagree, you can say, I don't think it is safe to meet people online, so I don't meet people online. What about this pattern? An easy way to do something. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's not difficult, in other words. Eating 5 or 6 small meals a day is an easy way to lose weight. So if somebody asks you, gosh, I need to lose weight. How can you lose weight? What is an easy way to lose weight? You may answer, well, eating 5 or 6 small meals a day is an easy way to lose weight, right? What is an easy way to learn English? Okay, you can use this pattern this way as well. Make it into a question. What is an easy way to lose weight? What is an easy way to learn English? Perhaps tune into our program. That might help. Now, the pros and cons of something. Pros, meaning plus. Cons, meaning minus. The advantages and the negatives, okay? The plus and the negative. Do you know the pros and cons of napping? Do you know the pros and cons of napping? The pros of something, the pros of social networking is that it lets you stay up to speed. Means to stay up to date, okay? Stay up to speed, stay up to date with what your friends are doing. That's definitely true. I think that is a huge pro of social networking. That is a pro. Pass something along. We take a look at this one. Pass something along to somebody means to give to somebody or even tell someone something. So, when did you pass along the good news to your parents? When did you pass along the good news to your parents? Pass along can be used together like this, okay? So once again, when did you pass along the good news to your parents? Meaning, when did you tell your parents the good news? What about this one? Please pass this message along to your friends. Meaning what? Please tell your friends about this. Give this message to your friends. Okay? Pass along the message to your friends. One more time. Please pass this message along to your friends. Okay, I guess that about does it for today's actual expressions. Let's now move on.